Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 484, season 20. Today's date is October 19th, 2025. And welcome to the show. Yes, I'm doing another one today on a beautiful Sunday. Well, it's raining. It's not beautiful. Maybe it'll be beautiful later, but it's chilly. On today's program, I'm going to talk about the history of a radio station that was owned by African Americans in the 1970s called WJPC. I forgot to call letters. 95 AM, yeah. And talk about his history of this radio station and my memories of it. Also, I'll read a menu from a restaurant that a lot of people miss. It's called the Pickle Barrel. Yeah, and they had 4 locations. So I found a menu and I will read off that. I don't know what decade it's from. I don't think it's the 60s or 70s. I have no idea. So this should be a lot of fun. Before I get started, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Photomat. Remember Photomat? Those little shacks with the film. Yeah, that was quite unique at the time. So here's a commercial from 1976. Okay. So sit back and relax. Let's go back to the mid-1970s for Photomat from 1976. And I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Thank you.
When can I pick up the pictures?
Thursday.
Thursday, okay, let me make a note of that.
You gonna write it down there?
Well, it's going to,
well, then let's say Tuesday.
You mean 2 days earlier?
No, 5 days
later. I thought as much.
If this customer were at a Photomat store, we'd be introducing him to our brand new picture pickup promise. Photomat's way of telling you exactly when your pictures will be ready.
That quick?
Sure, and if it doesn't work out, you get a free roll of film.
Oh, no. You get in trouble for
it's
that.
no problem.
Huh?
It's a Photomat policy.
The Photomat picture pickup promise.
Is there a Photomat store around here?
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Photomat from 1976. Those were legendary. You know, when it comes to having your film developed from your camera, like, for example, Kodak, Polaroid, Vivitar. There were others. So let me give you a brief history of this wonderful invention. It was founded in San Diego 60 years ago, and it was a retail chain of photo development drive-through kiosks, and then it just expanded, and then I think it stopped about the early 1980s. The one that was near my own neighborhood, that is in Ashburn, was at 79th and Kamensky, like one block of west of Pulaski. And it was in a strip mall. I remember the White Hen was there. I had great times at White Hen. And there was a cleaner. I forgot what other building was there. So the Photomat was there. And I remember, I never used Photomat. I don't think I did. But I remember seeing that, and I always saw the person. And people asked the $1 million question, where do the people go to the bathroom? Do they go outside? Probably. I would think so. Unless there's a secret passage on the floor. I doubt it. So, no. But they were all over the Chicagoland area. And it's well remembered to this day. I did a podcast episode about it a few years ago. Maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I'll revisit. I don't know. We'll see. I still get requests. I really do. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the history of WJPC 95 AM in Chicago. It was the first Black-owned radio station. And I will read a menu from the Pickle Barrel that was located in Chicago. It should be fun. Before I get started, a couple things. One, Tuesday, I will have an operation. It's routine outpatient. They're going to put in it's called a artificial urinary sphincter, which means it'll control my pee. Because I've been leaking for 7 months. I've been wearing diapers every day. I change all the time. It is a nuisance, even when I go outside. My urologist says, "Nah, you're not going to get better. It's good. I'd rather have this operation done than do this for the rest of my life, and it's ridiculous." So, and he said that you will wear diapers for about a month and a half, and then what it works is you press. There's a button underneath the scrotum, and you press it, and then it's like a faucet, and you control it. I hope it works. I'm scared, but I hope it works. But my cancer journey has been topsy-turvy, for the past 6 years. It'll be 6 years in December. I'm still here. As for chemo, that's November 4th. PSA still up. I don't know what's happening. It looks like I'm going to try another treatment, Pluvicto. We'll see. It's not chemo. It's radiation. It's liquid radiation, and it's different. And, I'll keep you posted on what's going to happen. Kind of disappointed, but what's great about this, there are a lot of treatments, a lot of them. Not like the old days. It was like very few. There was like radiation and that's it. But there are others, and there are more coming, from what I understood. Yeah, I think they found a new one about a month ago. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. All right. So, I will not do a podcast Tuesday because I'll be in the hospital. So that's that. So you got to wait till next weekend, probably Saturday. Next Sunday, no, I'm going somewhere. Saturday, probably Saturday. So you got to wait. All right. Let's talk about WJPC radio. I remember this when I was a kid. I remember the advertisements on TV, the surveys. So they're at record stores. And let's see what else. What else I saw? Yeah, so on the radio as well. I listened to a couple times when I was a kid. This was around probably a year in Roseland, in a neighborhood, and then I moved to Ashburn, and then you hear the advertising. I even saw signs on CTA buses like that, even billboards, So it was a cool station. So I'll give you so that was founded in 1973. It was owned by John H. Johnson. You may know him as, he was a publisher, and he published Ebony magazine and Jet magazine. Jet magazine is gone. A couple of people asked me to talk about that magazine, and I will do that. Yeah, because I find it interesting. And Ebony, I don't think around, but I think it's digital. Could be wrong, but I don't know if the publishing company exists anymore. I don't think so. Not that I know of. I should have done more research. And it was playing R&B and soul and gospel music, and later hip hop. The hip hop came much later. And the slogan was "The Soul of Chicago." Yeah, it's kind of cool. And so let me give you a history of this. I'm going down way back. So the first call letters of this radio station was WAAF. I remember seeing that. That was founded in 1922, and it was owned by the Chicago Daily Drovers Journal. And their studios were located at the Union Stockyards, right around, like 43rd and Halsted, by the Back in the Yards neighborhood, or what's it called, Canaryville, around there. And then at first it was at 6:20, and then 8:30, and later. No, that made a mistake. Skip it. So that radio station lasted until 1967. So that station had music programs, news, live market reports, like WBBM and WGN, stuff like that. there was a fire at the stockyards in 1934, and the transmitter was destroyed. So then they moved to the Palmer House Hotel in Loop after the fire. And then the 1940s, they played orchestral music, popular music. And then the studio was moved to the LaSalle Wacker building. Okay. In the 50s, they started a airing jukebox matinee. It was hosted by a man named Hal Fredericks. And he would feature like #1 songs in jukeboxes. That's kind of fun. Okay. Then in 1956, it adapted a jazz format. Yeah. Which is kind of cool. Like that. Then in 1967, it was sold. And the call letters were changed from WAEF to WGRT. Stand for W Great. I think so. And it played soul music. Yeah, so, yeah. And then they still did jazz for a while. And the transmitter was moved to the Midland warehouses on Western Avenue. I don't know where that is exactly. I got to look that up. Okay. Now, in 1973, May 29th, 1973, the station was purchased by the Johnson Publishing Company. Yeah, let me look this up real quickly. Okay, yeah. So the publishing company went out of business on April 2019. That was located at 200 South Michigan Avenue. And not only they did radio, they owned a radio station, they had magazines, TV, cosmetics. You know, it was a great company. You know, and then so they bought the station. And they changed the call letters for WJPC, so which I assume it means Johnson Publishing Company. And the station aired a urban contemporary format. The disc jockeys were Tom Joyner and LaDonna Tittle. I think that's her name. Tittle, yeah. And then Daddy O'Daly hosted a Sunday jazz program. So that was good. So I remember Tom Joyner, he was on the radio forever. You know, I think he went to, I forgot what stations he went to. So, and I do remember listening once in a while, you know, they played disco, you know, soul, R&B. I love R&B music. I really do. Then, it was a big hit like that. And later on, like in the late 80s and 90s, they simulcast the radio station to a sister station, WLNR in Lansing, Illinois, 106.3. It was branded Soft Touch. And then in July 15th, 1992, they changed the format again to all rap. You know, rap was big back, still is, but in the 90s it was huge. You know, it was huge. It really was like that. So in 1994, the Johnson Publishing Company sold the station, and for $8 million, and they called it 106 Jams, you know, from that, and turned to WJPC FM. Then later in the year, they changed the call letters again, and it's WEJM. I don't know if it's still there. Maybe. I don't know. I think you can get it on a loop. No, not a loop. On an app. You know, you can listen. Or they have HD radio. Maybe. In 1997, they changed it to Sports, 101 Sports, and then changed it to WIDB, and then that moved to another station, WJKL, and, you know. So that changed everything like that. That was a very unique station with WJPC, you know, because it was very popular with young, you know, teenagers and young people like that. But they didn't play rock and roll, so, you know, mostly R&B, you know, like that. Okay, so I found a commercial on YouTube, courtesy of Fuzzy TV Memories by Rick Klein. Thank you. Excuse me. It's from 1978. And features some very well-known celebrity. And Tom Joyner's in the commercial. Okay. So I'm going to play that. And then when I come, excuse me, I still have this cold. When I come back, I'm going to talk about, I will talk about and also read a menu from the Pickle Barrel Restaurant. Okay? So this will be a lot of fun. All right, so sit back and relax. Let's go back to the late 1970s for WJPC 95 AM. And I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Thank you.
Who do you listen to on the radio in the morning?
This is Muhammad Ali, and I listen to Tom Joyner on WJPC.
Lieutenant Colonel Tom Joyner on JPC.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial. I thought it was funny. You can find, there are a few commercials on WJPC on YouTube. You know, if you like that. There are also listen to recordings. There's one, I believe, from 1989, if you want to listen to that. You know, I love listening to, like, recordings from the radio. My favorite was WLS or WMET, The Loop, you know, the stations that I listened to when I was a teenager. Even younger than that, excuse me. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Pickle Barrel Restaurant. I did do a podcast episode about that place. The difference is for today that I'm going to read a menu. So I'll talk about the history of the Pickle Barrel, then I will read a menu. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Now, the man's name that founded the restaurant, his name was Leo Osher. And he operated several Jewish-style restaurants and delis in the Chicagoland area from 1950 until he died. This is from the DR, I don't know how you say it. Hold on, please. Digital Research Library of Illinois History Journal. That's by Neil Gale. He's a great guy. Very thorough. Okay, so he grew up, Mr. Osher grew up on the west side of Chicago, graduated from Roosevelt High School. And he opened the Corner Beef Center. It was a small deli at 3352 Broadway at Roscoe Street in 1950. And that lasted for about 10 years. Now, later on, he opened the Pickle Barrel in 1960. And it was kind of unusual, kind of quirky. And according to the website, the walls were decorated with oddities and antiques. That makes it interesting. And guests were greeted with a barrel of pickles for snacking and a bucket of popcorn on each table. So, you know, I love pickles. I don't like pickles in sandwiches or, you know, like that. I like on the side, like a huge kosher pickle. Real cold and crunchy. That is good. You know, when I was in New York last week, I should have stopped by at a deli and got a pickle, a kosher pickle. Didn't have time. This interesting thing is, I don't know, some people said that they had they served peanuts on the table and there were no shells on the floor. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's disputed. I'm not sure about that. But the restaurants that did that was Chances Are, remember that, and the Ground Round, of course. I don't know. Maybe a couple of places did that, you know, the other locations. I'm not sure. Oh, well, could be wrong. And they sold a lot of beer. They did that. Okay. So the location was at 1452 North Wells in the Old Town neighborhood. And let's see what else. They had other locations like that. And, you know, I guess a lot of people love pickles. And they had balloon artists to entertain the kids and pictures of beer for the adults. I guess they had a lot of that. And in 1964, Leo Osher was named Pickle Man of the Year. Of course. Like that. And let's see what else. And then he opened 4 more locations, including the one at Oak Street. I posted a photo of that the other day that showed Music Craft and the Esquire Theater. Okay. So let's see. The other locations. So in the late 1960s, he sold the chain. Then later on, him and his son Michael opened Barnum and Bagel Restaurant that was in Skokie. Talk about that. That sounds interesting. Maybe find a menu. That was located at 4700 West Dempster Street. And they name it the 20th Century Locks, like 20th Century Fox at the studio. And Mr. Osher died on Tuesday, April 20th, 1999. Okay. Now, the other locations were, of course, I'll read them off to you. The original one was at 1423 North Wells Street in Chicago. The other one was at 7574 Northwestern Avenue in Chicago. I think that's the Westridge neighborhood. Of course, the other one was at 50 East Oak Street. I mentioned that before. And the other one was at Park Forest Plaza Shopping Center, Park Forest, Illinois. I think I saw a picture. I think I have a picture of that somewhere. There was one on the south side. And the last one was at 240 Skokie Highway in Northbrook, Illinois. I can't wait to, I want to get a t-shirt. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so now I'm going to read the menu. Oh, this will be fun. Okay, hold on, please. Okay, let's start here. Okay, so a pitcher of beer at the time was $1.25. Let's see. So, the phone number was 854-6647. I could be wrong. Okay, so the daily luncheon specials, I will include the prices. Okay, so it was Monday through Friday. So Monday was broiled center cut pork chops on toast with fries and applesauce, $1.50. Tuesday was grilled ham steak with pineapple sauce, candy yams, and coleslaw, $1.50. Wednesday was pepper pot beef steak, steamed rice ring, I think that's what it says, $1.75. Thursday was pickle barrel, barbecue beef, and French bread and coleslaw, $1. The one previous to beef steak was $1.75. Excuse me. Friday, they had a few items. Grilled cheese sandwich, 75 cents. Tuna fish salad sandwich, 85 cents. Cold shrimp plate garnish, $1.25. Excuse me. Cheese or meat pizza, $1.10. And 3 cheese blintzes with sour cream, $1.10. That sounds good. Okay. Now, they had sandwiches. Giant sandwiches. So Giant, they had hot pastrami on rye, 90 cents. Corned beef on rye, that is, 90 cents. They had a hamburger, black bread. Can't read that. With cheese. So that was 50 cents. 15 cents extra for cheese. Excuse me. Coleslaw was also served with their sandwiches. Next, they had colossal sandwiches. These were much bigger. Hot pastrami on rye, $1.25. Corned beef on rye, $1.25. Yeah. The prices are small. My size bag. Hamburger, with the black bread, $1.25. The same thing. Served with potato pancakes. I don't know the price. Either served with potato pancakes, French fries, coleslaw, cottage cheese with chives. Okay. Now, dinners. They had Old Town fried chicken, $1.85. Barbecue chicken, it was half. The Old Town fried chicken was half too. $3.25. No, $1.85. Excuse me. Hickory barbecue ribs, whole slab, $3.25. French fried shrimp, $1.85. Dinner includes potato, pancake, coleslaw, cottage cheese with chives, and garnish. They had about desserts, but there's no dessert menu, which I'm disappointed. They had a chopped salad with oil and vinegar dressing, 35 cents. Onion rings, 75 cents. Potato pancakes, if you would just want that, 85 cents. That was applesauce or sour cream, if you like that. I love potato pancakes. Oh, those are good. So chopped salad was 35 cents. Chopped salad bowl, 35 cents. Onion rings, 75 cents. Potato pancakes, 85 cents. Okay. Now, on the bottom here, it says, join our Sunday Blunch Club. Blunch? Or is it brunch? Blunch. So number one, they had the smorgasbord. Okay. It doesn't... smorgasbord is loaded with lox, smeared cheese, smoked fish, tomatoes, onions, olives, bagels, rolls. Served with coffee or tea or milk, and only for $2.25. Okay. And then number two was the habitual ham and eggers. 2 eggs, any way you want it. Ham and bacon or porky rolls, hard or soft sweet. And then it's served coffee and tea and milk, and that costs $1.25. Okay. Did I miss anything? Let me take a quick look. No, I did not miss anything. So that was it. Yeah, that sounded very good. It really does. So that was a short menu. I wish I had the dessert menu. I love desserts. Okay. So that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the history of WJPC Radio, 95 AM. That was in Chicago. It was the first Black-owned radio station. And then I read a menu from the Pickle Barrel Restaurant. Okay. And the first location was at 1423 North Wells Street in the Old Town neighborhood. That was fun. All right. This podcast will be published later on today. Where podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Good Pods. I failed to mention that at the previous episode. If you have CarPlay in your phone, you can listen to the car, or you can stream it with Spotify. I don't know how that works. You can have apps on your car, and you can listen to the podcast. A few people have messaged me, and they say they do listen to me while they're driving. I hope it don't distract them. Also, be shared on my blog, www.vanchicagoland.blog. And let's see, what else? And you can listen to any device, your laptop, your PC, your desktop, or your phone, or your iPad, any tablet. I think you can listen to Android phones. You could do that. Also, it's on my YouTube channel. And again and again and again, people ask me, someone asked me this morning, where can I find your podcasts? I want to listen to your podcasts. I'm dying to hear your podcasts. You can find it on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in the search, Van Chicagoland Stories, or my name, Pete Costanis, and click subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. The apps I just mentioned previously, if you tap follow, you receive a notification and for the latest episode. Same thing with the YouTube channel. When you click subscribe, you'll receive a notification for the latest episode. Okay? If you listen to previous episodes you like, same way. Excuse me. Also, be shared on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, Reddit, LinkedIn. Also, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. They'll have the links. So, if you can't get the links on those, just go to the ones I mentioned previously. All right? Oh, that was fun. All right, this is Pete Costanis, your host of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today is a rainy day. It's cool. The Bears are on, so please enjoy the football game. Don't rant and rave. Just enjoy the game. And here's bye-bye for me, and here's a little traveling music from our favorite person in the whole wide world, the Chicago legend, Ray Rayner, saying bye-bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.